What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. Obviously, it's still the new year. And if you have any New Year's resolutions, go ahead and comment them down below. But today I have a very special guest with me, my boy Jake. My boy Jake has been on the pod before.
I have.
Especially when we did not have this kind of setup.
No. Well, it's good to be back. See, you're all set up here, so it looks really good.
Thanks, bro.
Applaud you for that. But yeah, man, we started at a hotel.
Yeah, we started at a Holiday Inn, bro.
Yeah, I remember that. So it was a little interesting, but I mean, I'm always for supporting people when they're barely starting off.
Appreciate
so
you, bro.
I'm glad to be back on episode. This is episode 2 for me.
Yeah.
So I've been on episode 1, so I'm excited to get started, man.
Yeah, bro. And I'll be honest with you guys. It was kind of sketch the way that we had it all set up. We were literally sitting on a sofa. Our equipment wasn't working how it was supposed to.
Right.
We were supposed to have the mic set up a certain way. It wasn't. We had different style of cameras. Those sucked. The audio was just so bad. Like, everything in the beginning just sucked so bad, to be honest with you. Like, most people wouldn't even want to put out content like that. But I figured, you know what? We're just going to do it and then show everyone our progression from there. And to this day, I'm still doing that. You know,
Yeah,
you have
for
people
sure.
come and go. You have people do whatever they want to do, and I just gotta keep pushing.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter
man.
what.
I mean, we always deal with adversity, right? So
Mhm.
things don't always plan out as they always. I mean, I know
You
we're
know.
missing somebody right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, goes to show you that you just keep writing if you believe in a certain goal or mindset. You lose people along the way. I mean, it's even been like a thing for me. Following this whole fitness thing. I don't have the same people that I was with.
We started with.
When I started, and
Yep.
then now I've upgraded to the people that I want to be around. So
That's good, bro.
it's all about mindset, and then you come to find out that the people that you want to be around come around, and then that mindset becomes one, and then everything feels natural.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, since we are still in the new year,
Right.
most people that have New Year's resolutions when it comes to fitness, obviously you're aware of those people. But
Very much
I don't
aware.
think I've ever had the opportunity to ask what would you consider yourself? Would you consider yourself a trainer? Would you consider yourself a fitness coach? What would you consider yourself? What's the title?
I don't consider myself a trainer. I
what do
mean,
you consider yourself?
I'm very passionate at what I do, but I consider myself more of a coach.
I'm more of a coach.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I say that right, and I don't.
No, for
I
sure.
don't give you a title that
No,
you're like, hey,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
wait a minute, hey.
But I'm always whatever I need to be. I'm more than welcome to be for my clients. But I will always consider myself more of a coach for
Right
sure.
on. Okay, so let me ask you this. Since I'm sure you're used to everyone's New Year's resolution being fitness and trying
Right.
to get better and everything like that, which we always applaud.
Of course.
What is your New Year's resolution as a coach?
As a coach,
Yeah. What is
all
it
right.
that you want? What is it that you were like? This is what I want. This is my little resolution.
So mine's a little different. I mean, I've been doing the same thing for years now, for sure. Last year that just passed was my first year being a full-time trainer
Congratulations
/
on
coach. So I appreciate that. Means a lot to do what you want to do. I don't feel like I go to work every day. I love what I do for sure. More or less, my New Year's resolution, it's a little more like personable for sure. It has nothing to do with fitness. More or less, I actually talked about this and I went on a live recently. To do things that get you out of your comfort zone. I'm a strong believer in that. More or less, I want to be a little bit more active on social media, not like the fitness side, but like to do like those everyday little things. I actually just posted a reel today talking about a skincare routine.
Right.
Bro, I've never fucking had a skincare routine. Sorry for my language.
That's all right, bro. Everyone
But,
here expects
yeah.
real, authentic you, so that's good.
So I never had a skincare routine, so I wanted to say that was a New Year's resolution for me. I mean, we're getting older, dude. I've
Yeah,
known you
bro.
since fucking middle school,
We're getting
bro.
wrinkles in areas. We're like, dude, what is going on,
I've
bro?
known you since middle school, and like we're practically fucking 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm 30.
Yeah.
So
Oh, shit.
yeah, I'm 30 now.
I'm 29, but also like getting out of your comfort zone, being a little more personable, a little more authentic for sure. I don't want everyone to think that I'm just about fitness because there's more to me than
There's
that.
more to you than
for
fitness.
sure.
Right
So the skincare routine also like I actually want to be like on Instagram live a little bit, just to get a little bit,
Engagement
more
and have that-
engagement.
yeah, uh-huh.
I'd never done that, so that was new. But yeah, just a little more engagement in terms of the I always believe in this is like there's people looking at you that you don't know about. I can be inspiring somebody just by doing a little post. You could be inspiring somebody by doing this podcast. You don't know. There's always people watching, and I think that's the beauty of it is when you don't look, you know, for that attention, you just going about what you want to believe in. You come to find out there's people like that, you know, look at you and support you. Yeah, and even though they don't say it, they're always like looking like, oh, like when is Eric gonna drop his new episode, or like when is Jay gonna talk about this, when is Jay gonna talk about that. So more or less I want to talk about more how you move. Just be true to yourself. How you move can inspire other people's to, you know, go into their personal lives and reevaluate themselves and go about how they want to approach this new year. But I feel like everybody should have New Year's resolutions, but more or less is like you don't want to be the same person you were before. So it's always about evolving. And obviously, you know, the big selling point is always like, oh, new year, new me, like, let's get into shape. Yeah, that's good and all, but I feel like you have to be consistent, and that's where a lot of people lose it, is consistency. Correct.
Yeah. And I would say, okay, so you hit a couple things. Now, the one thing that I do agree with you 100% on is being more engaged with your I guess you could say your audience, your people that follow you, not just to let, you know, like you said, not let them know that you're just a fitness guy. You're also a person that also, you know, does other stuff. Which is good, because that right there helps people get more personal with you. And I think when people are more personal with you, to a certain extent, it helps grow you and them along the way, because they can see it and be like, wow, he has the confidence to talk about this, when it's like, okay, like why am I being scared, you know? I understand that. Like I think the social media game too, bro, although it has its you know, it's pros and its cons. I understand it. I get it. I think we've all hit that at some point, and I think you've realized it. When I say this, I say it as in, not saying you have any flaws, but what I'm saying is most people would say, I don't like how I looked in that, or this or that, and that's holding you back from being people looking at you and be like, well, that's the real them, the authentic them, you know? Because when you go on social media now, bro, it doesn't matter who it is, and I'm not trying to, you know, throw any shade here, but filters are everywhere.
Oh, 100%.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know you see
I use them all the time.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
sit here.
Filters are everywhere. People, I think this is what I'll say. I'll say a lot of that contributed to a lot of people's like not trying to be their authentic self, the authentic selves. And the thing is that right now, when you're saying like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I want to do that, that's a good thing. Like, you're being your authentic self, and people are going to see that and they're going to want to do that. And that's cool, you know? And that's why, like, another thing when it comes to the podcasting thing too, like, you know how you said, like, you know, you're being consistent, you're doing all this stuff, you have to do all that. I have a lot of people ask me, how is it that you do the stuff that you're doing with the time that you're doing? I'm like, bro, time management is everything. I'm not saying I'm perfect.
No,
okay, 100%. I'm not perfect. I don't have the perfect schedule for anything. I have my flaws like everyone else. But being consistent is the number one thing, whether it be in fitness or anything. Anything. That helps out a lot. Like, a lot of people message me, like, damn, bro, like, I want to hop on the pod, but I'm nervous, or I'm kind of scared, or oh, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about X, Y, and Z. And
I feel like it's very relatable, but I've always liked, you know, since we reconnected, that, you know, we're always like, I know what you do. Like, you work graveyard, like, that shit is crazy, you know. Like, I used to do that, but I get it. But when it goes down to it, it's like, if you want to do something, you're gonna do it. And then one thing that I think we're really good at is we communicate it. So I remember you told me, like, hey, I have this day, whatever. And I was like, let's do this. Bam, bam, bam. We move quickly, get it done, because I want to do it, you want to do it. I'm not here to waste your time.
Exactly. Vice versa.
Vice versa, for sure. So if you want to do something, you'll make the time. Like, I'm a busy individual myself, but and this goes back to like another New Year's resolution thing is I think we tend to get caught up in like our jobs, or like, you know, going in our routines and stuff like that. But I'm here to say, like, you're not your job. So like, if you want to do something, for yourself, I feel like you should definitely you know, call off that one day at work, or, you know, you're doing what you want to do, and more or less go do that fun thing that you want to do, or go do that little venture that you've been planning to do. You know, like one day it's not gonna hurt you, but I mean, it's just about taking like those little days for yourself, or taking those risks.
Like what? My thing is this, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've working in all the fields that I've worked in. Now I'm gonna be honest here. I've had a lot of jobs, right?
Right.
And the reason I've talked about this before with Bao when we talked about the podcast. The way that I looked at it was I wanted to do as many jobs as possible so I can get an understanding of what it was that what I want to do. Because
Right.
most people say, "Oh, I want to be this," and then they invest all their time into that, which I'm not saying is wrong.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, then you're kind of stuck, and you don't want to get out of that like stuck that you're in. And that comfort zone, I guess, is what I'm pretty
Right.
much trying to say. And for me, it was more like people would say, "Oh, you have so many jobs, like, you know, that looks bad on you," or this and that. And I'm like, you know what, bro? At the end of the day, I know what I'm bringing to the table. I know what I'm learning. And when I get older, I can say, "Hey, I did that job. Hey,
Yeah.
I know what that was like. Hey, I
Right.
know what you did." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get that aspect of like when people are out there and they just don't want to do anything really. And it's kind of weird to me how you can go about your life and not want to take a day off, not want to do this and not want to do that. And again, reverting back to what I originally wanted to push to, which was I've worked in so many careers that I've seen people literally show up every day, which applaud them because that's their consistency and that's
Right.
their dedication.
Right.
But at the same time, they're not enjoying what they're working hard for.
Right.
They're looking forward to that retirement. And it's like, fam, like you need to enjoy yourself now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're like, "Oh no, well, if I take the day off, I'm gonna lose out on this." Or I'm like, "Bro, you have PTO. Like you have
Yeah.
paid time off. Like take that time
There's
off."
a reason,
And they're
yeah.
like, "No, I want to stack it up because you know you can get cashed out at the end of the year." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Bro, like
Hey,
come
man.
on, bro.
No,
like enjoy yourself."
I get that for sure. For
you know?
sure.
And you know, I've had jobs where I would use my sick days as soon as they were available.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, I want to enjoy my time off. But at the same time, guys, there's times where I would use it beneficial. You know,
Right,
like I would
for
take
sure.
the time off and I'd be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go, you know, pay my tags, do this, do that, get my haircut, go all that, so I'm ready for the week. Or I would say, oh, I have a new little project that I want to start. Let me do this. You know, but. You know how you said that I work graveyard, which is true. I do
Yeah.
work graveyards. It's not the easiest,
No,
right?
I've done them before. No,
it
not
takes a
by all
toll on
means.
your body somehow, bro, that it's just weird.
Yeah.
Like even if you get the right amount of sleep, it's really fucking
Fucking
weird.
hard. Yep.
Like you just wake up so exhausted,
weird.
bro.
Super weird, bro.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I slept 8 hours. Like I'm not eating like horrible. Like what the heck is going
Yeah.
on? And it's just, you know, that's just what it is. And like now, bro, I'm working my regular job, which for those of you that don't know, I'm a truck driver. Right? Like I'm a truck driver. I work. I do deliveries to the port. I grab containers, take them out. That's all I do all night.
Yeah.
Easy job, but can take its toll.
For sure.
And doing that, oh, dude, I lost my train of thought. Hold on, wait a minute.
You're good, you're good.
What was I fucking
Reset.
trying to push it to? Oh, I hate when that happens. I hate when that happens, bro. Okay, so yeah, for example, like the night
Graveyards.
shift, graveyard, and all that stuff, right? Like right now, I'm currently working. I would say 6 days a week.
Okay.
Just that job. And then afterwards, I still have to go home, edit some videos. I still have to figure out a time to like make sure everyone in my life understands that, hey, I'm not putting you on the back
Right.
burner, but I do have things
Right.
that I want to do, and prioritize everything accordingly. You know, the thing that sucks about that is that you start to lose time with loved ones. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
stuff like that is what really like bothers me more.
For sure.
But sometimes you have to do what you got to do to get shit done. And a lot of people are not willing to sacrifice that
Yeah.
to put the dedication to that either. And
Yeah.
that's like one thing, bro. Like, let me ask you this. As far as for sacrificing, how do you get that across to like I would say your clients, your customers, or what would you call them? Like,
I mean, my clients. I mean,
right?
like,
Okay. Because
they're friends
everybody has
too.
their own
Yeah,
little
for
different,
sure.
different terms for them. Like, how would you get that across from like the sacrifice?
In terms of like sacrifice.
The sacrifice and dedication, like what is it that you can kind of push them, or what is some words that you can give to maybe them and to other people
Right.
that might see that?
I mean, how I always say is, I mean, obviously, we look forward to the weekends and stuff like that. You know, you want to go out, couple drinks. I mean, we get older and stuff, so I get it. Have like a nice dinner, but more or less, if someone like really wants to like be, very goal driven, like, hey, I want to get to this, and I always think that's a really big thing. Is that I feel like you should give yourself time frames, to see like, hey, how far can I do this in terms of like just, I'll get back on it, or like I'll slip up here and there, but in the whole aspect of it, I would say is I think you can't control environments, so you have to realize that as an individual. So like if you do go out, there's plenty of options, you know. Like I even have my clients like text me like, hey, what can I eat here, and I make sure everything's done accordingly to make sure they're very sticking to their goals per se. And then alcohol, here and there, I tell them like, oh, there's like certain drinks they can have and stuff like that. But if in terms of like going to like different fitness levels, definitely it is a sacrifice that you have to make if you really want to like get the full benefits of training. Just because alcohol can dehydrate you, and I can go on and on about that. I know, yeah. It's a lot, but more or less, I always say is like if you can sacrifice just a little bit time for yourself, you come to find out that you can accomplish a lot, but you just need to give yourself that time. And you can't control the environments. The only way you can control the environment is if you like go hand in hand with the environment. Is like peer pressure.
That's number one.
Yeah, number one for sure is like going out with your friends. And it's like, I mean, we all have different mindsets. But I feel like a big thing when it comes to like being in shape or getting in shape is you don't get a lot of support. I feel like it's more like a bash when you go out with your friends. Like if it's like out of the norm, you know what I mean? It's like you get
like if your friends are so used to being like eating at the places that they're used to eating. Yeah.
So you kind of get bashed for it. It's like all of a sudden, or like you're being too extreme. But it goes back to that thing. Is like it's a totally different mindset,
right?
Where you'd have to actually do it to know what it feels like. And I always tell my clients, like, I don't want you to think like this isn't how it's gonna be forever, because it's not,
right? You
know, but you just need to like, if you have a certain time frame, this is what it's gonna take, and then when you can get there, then you can slowly introduce those little things. But I'll teach you the tools to make sure you can have that meal or enjoy that or have that drink. But I feel like it just goes down to that. And then also another thing is like big support. Like you always need a support system. I didn't have one when I started mine. Is like going back to like I got bashed for it. Like even my own family bashed me for it.
I think that's the one that hits like, the most, huh? Like the family one.
Yeah, dude. So my mom was like, "Oh, like no comes bien," you know, and like a Mexican, bro.
It's like, bro, is my food not good enough? You know what I mean?
It's not good enough. And then like I started cooking for myself, so like my mom wouldn't make me food, and you feel like you're like malnourished. But I mean, that's just what it takes to get to like a certain level.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's kind of a slap in the face for a mom though, when you're like, you don't want to eat my food no more. What's wrong with it? You bet you too good for it now.
I know, I get you, man. So, but yeah, going to like Mexican culture is like we eat all the carbs, and it's too much.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, let me give you frijoles, papas, and tortilla. Like, goddamn.
Like, you know? Then my mom calls me gordo for a reason, huh? She's like, why are you getting so big? Yeah. Well, what do you think?
It's like you can't do that. You know, it's like you choose one or the other, and then that's that, and just focus more on protein and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I mean, I can even vouch for like extreme, very, very extreme measures. We talked about this on my first episode is I was going to do my competition.
Right. I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, I was going to lead into it, but I was like, let me get the little juicy stuff out.
And I definitely completed that, but that is
Bro, but how was that? For those of you that don't know, what was the show that you entered?
So the show I entered, it was in April. It was in Anaheim. It was called the Grand Prix.
The Grand Prix. So it's not like Mr. Olympia type style, but it's kind of like Mr. Olympia style, but it's a smaller version.
It's like the federation you can it can lead you to that, but there's like so many requirements for that, winning trophies and stuff. But yeah, I did my first show in April. The Grand Prix in Anaheim it was very, very tough for sure. Really? Well, one of the toughest thing ever.
Tell me how. Done for sure. What made it tough?
Man. So I was working my other job at the time when I started. So I was working at Sherwin-Williams.
For those of you that don't know, it's Paint Store.
Paint store. So and then I was still working my way to do my goal of being a full-time trainer. So just to give you a rundown about a day, I would have a client at like 5 a.m. So then I hadn't moved to OC yet, so I was still in Downey. So I would drive to Newport, which was Onyx, my facility that I was at in OC, which I'm still kind of there per se. but I would have a client at 5, so I'd train them at 5, and then I would work out myself from like 6 to 7, and then I would go shower. But when I was coming from Downey, I would like just kind of chill there until I had to go to work at 9. So I would
you were working before your
I was
your
working
job.
before my job, right?
on,
So I had like one client at 5 to 6, and then like at the time I just had that one. So then I would just wait until I had to like go to work at 9, just because I couldn't shower because I'm not gonna drive all the way back to Downey, you know.
Yeah, I feel
So
that.
then after that, so I transitioned, and then I moved to OC. So then I was able to like go home and stuff. But I was up early, 4 to 5, and then I would work from 9 to 7 p.m. and then I would go back to the gym. And my nights were pretty stacked, so I would work from like 7 to like 9 p.m. And mind you, I still had to train myself. So then I would work out.
And this is while you're trying to do the competition or the show.
This was in the.
Is it a competition or a show?
Yeah, it's a show.
Okay,
show
okay, all right.
competition.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
But so during that time, I would finish like at 9. I'd work out myself. I'd be done by like 10. I would get home. I still have to make my meals. It's like 11, bro. And then I have to shower. And then by the time I know, it's like 12, right? So then I'd have to go to sleep, wake up again at 4. So it was like it was a lot of time that I had to put in more sacrifice. Mind you, I'm on low calories, so you could imagine very low energy.
Yeah, there you go. So low calories is pretty much you have low energy,
yeah.
correct? Okay,
so
cool.
And what I want to say made it the hardest for sure is this goes down to like hormonal. For sure. So I'm a natural athlete, so you know I just take like supplements, stuff like that, no artificials. So my testosterone, oh my God, down the drain, bro, down the drain.
No energy for
So
nothing.
no energy. So I was like a walking zombie, for sure. And then towards the end of it, like 2 weeks, I was basically eating like tilapia with no like seasoning. Tilapia, just
that?
whitefish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whitefish, no seasonings, and like asparagus.
Damn.
So that was like a
very bland
towards the end
lifestyle at the end, yeah.
for sure. And then like my water was monitored for sure. So there was like I think it was like 2 days out. I could only drink so much water because I had to dry out my system. So there was that. So it was very, very tough. And then like towards the end of it, also like I had moved to another place in Orange County. So to add to the stress, I was moving too.
Yeah.
So then it kind of just piled over. But more or less, I would say it's a lot of stress for sure. Just because the world doesn't stop for that specific thing. Like everything keeps going. And I always say this, and I talk to multiple athletes. It's like there's never what you would say an easy prep. So like our prep, mine was like 16 weeks. There's always something that happens for sure, where you have to like. To the point where like you want to like back out of the show because like it's just too much.
I'm sure that's very common.
Yeah, for sure. It's very, very common. So you have to like, step up to adversity and basically beat that. But if I had to put it down is like if anyone on here watching this episode, if you're interested in competing, I will tell you that it is a mental battle more than a physical one. If you're not mentally prepared for that, you're probably not gonna be able to pull through, because it just takes a toll onto you mentally, and then also like hormonally, and then I won't even get back into like female competitors, bro. Those they're like
hard?
They're
or is
like
that more
superheroes
emotion?
for sure.
More emotion?
They're superheroes for sure. That is a lot more. So anyone who's a female athlete, I applaud you. I always talk to them. It's a lot.
It's a lot, huh?
For them. So hormonal imbalances, it could be so many things.
And they already deal with it naturally.
Exactly. So
yeah,
you could
to add
imagine
to that, yeah, I feel it.
So my only hormonal imbalance was testosterone was way
low.
down the roof. So just to give you into like
which is, I'm gonna be honest with you, which is crazy. Sorry to cut you off, but it's kind of crazy to me because you're going into a field where it's like you're building yourself up.
For sure.
And I would not expect that
Oh,
to be
no,
real
bro.
with you. So that's why it kind of threw me off a little.
Yeah, so you build yourself up to it, but when you get down to like a certain level of body, I always say is like the healthier you look, actually the more unhealthier you feel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did
So like
not
if you look like
expect
super
that.
ripped, abs, like it is not
Now we're talking about
maintainable.
like competitive
Yeah,
style.
competitive
Okay.
style.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
if
want
you-
nobody out there being,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
you
nah.
fit, bro. I feel
If, like
great.
even
No, I feel
even
that, I
though
feel
like
that.
I'm not walking around how I walked around when I was
Yeah.
competing, it's very hard to maintain.
Right.
I'm not saying it's not possible, but like it's a lot, and then you don't feel like 100% if I'm
Right.
being honest. So yeah, energy levels, they suck. And just to go like in the little personal aspect, so dude, libido way the fuck down. Way the
What
fuck
is
down.
what is libido?
So
For
sexual
those of you that
libido,
don't-
yeah,
sexual libido. Okay, all right.
So like, you
Just
know,
wanna make
like
sure.
when it goes up, you know,
It goes up, and when
Yeah,
it goes down, it's down.
So my shit would not go up.
You're like, dude,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
dude, it's just like, yeah, it's just soft.
Did you do one of those where you're like, excuse me, I'll be right
Yeah,
back?
so it's like you don't think about that stuff. So like obviously I'm single, so like I don't have a partner, but I'm pretty sure like
When you want to,
Yeah.
you want it to perform the way. Yeah, I feel
and
it.
you're not going to.
Right. Damn, bro.
You'll perform, but it'll
You're just
suck.
like, it's not. Sorry, it's not you. It's
not you.
really
It's
me.
literally
Yeah,
me
yeah.
for sure. So it'll suck, bro. The
Yeah, I
energy
feel
levels suck. So, and then to add to that, like obviously when you ejaculate,
Mm-hmm.
I mean obviously it goes down more. So like testosterone, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like that
yeah.
makes us for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's a lot. But I'm glad I did it. I mean, I did it more for. I would say I did it for myself for sure. But I always had like talked about doing it, and then I just finally did it.
You're just like,
and it
fuck it,
was
I'm
like
gonna do
like a 3 to 4 year long time coming
Like
kind of thing.
process, trying to get yourself to it.
So
But
like
how-
I had done it before, and then I had to back out because I got super sick. I actually got COVID. So
you got COVID?
Yeah, when I was gonna go do it.
I'm gonna brag on you real quick.
Yeah.
Cole, I've never got that shit,
Really?
bro. I swear to
Holy
God,
shit.
I'm still good
Yeah.
right now.
So yeah, I got that. So I actually had to pull out of that show
Right
for
on.
sure because you mean
Yeah, because you're trying to be
taking that
healthy.
risk, yeah.
You're already taking the risk.
My
of,
immune
you know.
system took a shit, and then at that point you're just like kind of backtracking, trying to work yourself up, and you just can't
I
at
feel
that
it.
point. So
So how did it
yeah.
feel being on that stage, actually being there?
Dude,
Like, what was? Did you have a lot of jitters?
I always get asked this when I first did it, and till this day it feels like I was not there.
Really?
I swear to God.
You know what?
Because that's how locked the fuck in I
You were
was.
in?
I swear to God, I didn't enjoy it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I was just kind of like, I think kind of thing that helped me too though is I stepped on there without my glasses, so I couldn't see shit.
Oh, that's
so
beautiful.
like my audience was blurred as hell.
Right on.
So and then like I was just locked in. I was just focused on my routine, playing it back and forth. Knew what I had to do. Time frames. I had my coach backstage. We were definitely talking about it for sure. But yeah, dude, and then I got second place. So I was pissed. I feel like
Bro,
I should have won.
Let's be real here.
Yeah.
It's your first
Yeah.
one, but you got second place
yeah,
though.
my first one, second
We
place.
all want the dub,
I
but
know, right?
hey, you know?
Yeah, I was fucking pissed, bro. So but it was all very surreal. So till this day, like I know I did it, but it feels like I didn't.
It feels like
because
you
I
didn't.
it was like a dream kind of. Because I was so focused, where I kind of forgot what I was doing. If that makes any sense.
No, and the thing that I was going to mention to that was, or add on to that was the fact that it can go back to any good moment that you've ever had
Yeah.
in life. It feels like you didn't have it because it was so good. You enjoyed it.
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
into the zone.
Right.
And then it's just like, oh yeah, that did happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, I feel it.
And I
yeah.
look back at these videos and I like post them on Instagram sometimes, and then I'm like, dude, I was actually there.
You're like, hell
that was
yeah,
me.
dude. You're like, that
so
was
I'm
me,
looking
dude.
at it, I'm like, fuck, that was me. Like I did that.
So if anyone wants to do it, would you recommend them? Just all you have to say is just mental. The whole mental thing
If
is
anyone wants to do it,
just the mental.
it's a mental thing,
Okay.
for sure. But it definitely gets you to that next level. And I've been training for years, but that was a whole nother level. And by all means, you guys know I'm a coach, but a key point that I want to bring out is I had to hire a coach for that. So what I want to say is like you have to be humble. And it's like, yeah, I'm very qualified to like get people to like
Self-discipline. You
yeah,
have the
self-discipline.
consistency,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. Very qualified to get myself to a level and then get my clients to a certain level. But to reach that level, dude, you need
that
that
extra.
Going back to, I had to hire a coach. Super great coach. If you guys ever need a coach for that type of thing, oh my god, my guy Kyle Panella, follow on Instagram. I used to work with him in Onyx, and then my other coach, Coach Walker, super good, super big. Really great guys. They definitely helped me, and this is coming from them, is they loved coaching me, bro, because like everything that they told me to do, I did it to the T, 100%. So I never had a cheat meal until they told me. I never drank 1 ounce of water that I had to, not 1 ounce over, or like too much food or anything. It was always like super smooth. So word of advice is, even though I'm a coach, I always, and you know this, bro, is like I've always been that humble guy. I just shut the fuck up and I work. And that's it. And it's like, if you want to follow me in that journey, by all means. And I'm very like, like I'm very open. Like if you ask me a question, like I'm not gonna be like I'm think I'm better than you or something, because I was that underdog. You know this. When we play football together, I'll go into that a little bit of that right now too, which we did on the previous episode. But there's a little update about that.
Right
on. So yeah, be coachable, be humble, try to enjoy everything, and then if you guys do have a fitness coach, I highly recommend just listen to them. They have your they want you to succeed, but we can't succeed for you. And then my always key saying is like, we can give you the highway, that doesn't mean you're gonna take it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like you could lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink it. So everyone who has a coach, I mean, my clients, they definitely are open conversation whenever they have a question. Is I always want this to succeed, and sometimes they do think I'm a hard ass, but I'm a hard ass because I care. Yeah.
So it's like,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, and I don't ever want to give any client a disservice. It's just like, I just don't work that way, and that goes back to like being a coach. Sometimes we have conversations that has nothing to do with fitness. It's just more like mental,
right?
Because that's what it is, having a support system. Your coach will always be your support system, for sure. I still talk to clients that are not my clients anymore till this day, and they ask me for advice. And I always consider all of them, Team Jake, because they were with me at one point. Even you, bro. I coached you.
and it's funny. Yeah. I was like, before we end this off, I actually had something that I want to say. I
coached you.
Right. I'm not there yet, but I will be.
Coaching you online, a little bit different. And then Johnny as well.
Oh, yeah. Johnny's been off social media lately. I think he's doing a social media dry. Whatever.
Really?
I think so, because he hasn't been responding back to any messages. And I'm like, I think he's in the zone right now. I think he's locking in.
Hey, man, that's good. Hey, but that goes back to what we were just talking about. That's what it takes,
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, hey, but he's been getting it, bro.
I haven't seen anything.
He's been getting it.
I was like, I need updates.
No, he's
for sure.
When we went to New York and stuff, like you could see like definition.
It's good.
He started losing weight. He was a little bit more rounder. Got a little bit more, a little bit more chisel. He's doing good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I was talking to him when you guys were out there. So
but he's cool.
Johnny's cool, man. I love his car though.
Oh yeah,
he knows that.
Super sick. Yeah.
Oh,
for those of you that don't know, we're really cool like that. So the fact that I called him a little bit, that's my boy. All right, that's my boy. Don't take it. Cool, that's my boy.
But yeah, man. Going back to the whole football thing for sure. Actually, man, I fucking love this dude, bro. Special place in my heart too. Just like Coach Bob.
Right.
Bro, I actually so I've always done this. I feel like I'm always that person. Like if you cross my mind, I'm gonna text you. And I actually texted Coach Davis.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, right on. I don't have his number like that, but he's cool. How is he doing?
I have him on Instagram.
How's he doing?
And dude, it was the most randomest thing, bro. I think it was like a couple days after New Year's. I was waiting for my client like at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. and then he just crossed my mind, bro. And then I was like, I'm gonna hit him up, because I've always done that. It's like I feel like a lot of us lose sight of that. Is like when someone crosses your mind, you're like, I'll hit him up later. Nah, bro. When I cross my mind, I feel like when somebody crosses my mind, I feel like it was for a reason. So like I always like to get on it.
And I'll be honest with you, not to cut you off, but I do that as well.
Yeah. For sure. So,
even if it's random, if I haven't spoken to a person in a long time, I just be like, hey, you just crossed my mind. I was like, just want to hopefully everything's okay, blah, blah, and that's it.
And I've always been a big person of that. I mean, I feel like a lot of people can attest to that for sure. So yeah, I hit him up on Instagram. Dude, I hit him up. I was like, oh, Coach Davis, like you crossed my mind, so I'm just hitting you up, And dude, what he told me, dude, I got to pull this up.
All right, go for it.
For sure. Let me pull this up. Dude, I was like, it was just hard. it wasn't hard, but it was just really cool to see that somebody would say that, you know. So let me see. Give me a second, guys.
By all means,
Coach Davis got to watch this, by the way. But yeah, man, this is good stuff. Crazy that it happens. What's it called?
the way that it does.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, man. So I found it. So I was like, "Okay, Coach Davis." So I texted him on January 5th, actually. So 8 a.m. I was like, "Happy New Year, man. You crossed my mind, so I want to reach out." He's like, "What's good, Jake? Hope all is well with you. Thanks for thinking of me. Also love seeing your posts. Hard work pays off." This
Yeah,
goes
that's-
back to what we just talked about.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Hard work pays
And
off.
I was like, Coach Davis is seeing my stuff,
Yeah,
and, you
yeah.
know, and he's seeing how I'm progressing, and is like, I wouldn't care to think, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I told him, and I was like, this comes from my heart for sure. I was like, I told him, you taught me to be a leader, even though I had people not believe in me, for sure. I mean, I don't remember if you were there, but when, you know, that story where like I was on the field and like they asked for like first team, and we were like super hurt with injuries, and I happened to be on first team, and they're like, oh, and you have Jake in there. We talked about this in our first episode,
yeah,
right?
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was Coach.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And then he told me, he's like, leaders come in many forms, and I feel like we can all learn from this for sure. Leaders come in many forms, in many ways. Some people lead by their actions, and some lead with their voice. It doesn't matter how you lead; just matters when you're ready to lead, when it's time for you to lead.
And you wrote that.
He wrote that.
He
to
wrote
me.
that. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah,
nice.
it was good, right? And then he
Fuck, that
said,
about to make me cry.
I know,
That was-
bro.
dude,
It
that
hit-
was good.
Dude, when I read it, it hit me.
Fuck.
And then, so this is when it hit me for sure. I said, who knew I'd be ready to lead, right? It just happened naturally, so I thank you. And I was like, I got to have a drink together for sure. So then he said, dude, this one hits for sure.
You gonna cry today, Jake?
Nah,
Whoa.
I'm good, bro. He's like, you might not have been the best athlete. Dude, I fucking
No,
wasn't
hey.
the best athlete for sure. But yeah, again, like I wanted to,
You
earn a
wanted to
spot.
earn that spot
for sure.
Yeah.
But you had the leadership qualities that the others didn't have. It just took some time for you to realize the qualities that you possessed. Dude, when he told me that, I was like, bro, there's
Yeah.
no way. It just comes back to the fact that I am a leader for sure.
Yeah.
For many of my clients, just in general, how I move, I feel like I like to lead by example. And who knew that? He saw that in me, and I didn't fucking know.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I want to thank Coach Davis for sure. Dude, it's still his fucking like 10 years ago. But to hear that from him means a lot, for sure.
Yeah, especially from someone that you looked up to in that time.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean? Even to the today, you can still look up to him. I'm not saying you don't, but
Yeah.
even to then, like, believe it or not, Jake, that's really good, dude. The
Yeah.
fact that you reached out and that came out the way that it did.
Yeah.
So that's actually really, really cool.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about that. This dude, who knew I was gonna do a podcast? But it just happened how it happened. But dude, when I heard that, I was like, dude.
Dude, Coach Davis has
There's
always
no-
been cool.
yeah,
though.
for
So
sure.
That's good that he,
Yeah.
Dude, you should be a poet, David.
Dude.
For real. If because you got some really good
Dude,
words in there, dude.
It was cool, man. But then again, like I wouldn't have known that.
Correct.
If I didn't reach
If
out.
you didn't reach out, right?
So, also, I think we take pride in that. Is like, oh, why should I reach out? But like, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
You know what, bro? It's an ego thing.
it's an ego thing for sure.
It really is an ego thing.
Yeah. So,
I've done that myself. I'll be honest with you. I'm guilty of it.
yeah, it's like,
done
oh, why do I gotta reach out? Like, why doesn't he reach out? And for instance, like, dude, this is like, Coach Davis has a whole family. Like, I feel like I'll be like a nuisance.
Yeah.
He has his kids and
it
stuff.
feels
yeah.
like that. Yeah, it feels like that.
And I was like, well, I could have been like, oh, why doesn't he talk to me?
Mm-hmm.
But it goes back to the fact is like he crossed my mind,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the reason why.
And you know what's crazy, bro, is that to add on to that, it's like we live in such a time now where it's so easy to connect and find
for
people,
sure.
and yet we still find
Yeah.
every excuse in the book
To
not
not,
to.
yeah. But that goes back to the thing is, dude, if I hadn't reached out, I would have never thought that that's what he thought
Mm-hmm.
about me as an now like a grown man individual, but just a little kid in high school, bro.
Yeah.
So it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, bro. You know what's crazy? You're in that position now, though, Jake. You're in a position now where you're that person. You're Davis.
Yeah.
And it's like I always wondered what it would be like to be like a teacher or a coach or something.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
it's like you're starting off with the young generation, right?
Yeah.
And you get to watch them now, at least. Before, teachers would be like, damn, I wonder what these kids are up to now, right?
Yeah.
But now that social media is alive, it's like they get to
They
see
can see
you.
for sure.
So it's like, it's crazy now. It's like, I've always wondered that. And I'm like, dude, you're going to have that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna live through it through you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're gonna have to come back and tell me all the
Yeah,
little stuff
for
you should,
sure.
because you're gonna have clients that you're gonna see that you might see yourself in, and you might be
Yeah.
like, damn, like you may not have had what I thought, like
Right.
this person over here had, but you for sure lived up to it a lot better.
Yeah, for
You know what I
sure.
mean? Which is, dude, the fact that's so cool that you did that though.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of stuck on it because, like, dude, that's really cool. Because most people, even as an adult, he didn't have to respond
No,
back.
he
He would have been
didn't.
like, oh, cool, good job. Like it is what it is. But he took the time out to do all that, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. So, to hear that from him for sure, because let's be honest, like that guy was a role model. Like I'd see him more than I see my dad, or my brothers or my mom, because we're there all the time. So to hear from him, he played a really big impact in my life. Just, dude, and they talked about this all the time. Is like you'll remember these interactions the rest of your life, like, and it's true because I remember like I was in football like yesterday, but more or less it taught me about who was the person that I wanted to become, and I definitely became that for sure.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Because we talked about Coach Bob too, but
Yeah.
Davis. Having all of them, it's crazy, bro. When you think about it, because this is those moments where you're like, if I could just go back a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it truly does make you appreciate the time and the people that you had.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so that's cool, bro.
Yeah,
I'm happy
and
that
then
you had that.
going back to like the clients thing is I definitely feel like most of my clients kind of to themselves, not very like to talk about like what they're doing and stuff. So I get that. I like to respect everyone's privacy. And then they just want to work on themselves, and I completely like get that. They don't want to do like social media, like talk about their updates or whatever like that, because and to be honest with you, they don't have to. It's more for themselves. But I feel like I've always had like people gravitate to me that have that like underdog mentality, just like how I did. That kid that always like was looked over, and like he would do the stuff like, I mean, I know I did, like I would do whatever I could to like better myself, but it's always like you're kind of looked over because there's the next man up is a little bit better, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, man, I always have that underdog mentality, that chip on my shoulder. And then like, dude, I still love football to this day. We got a playoff game today. Your Cowboys are going right now,
Cowboys
right?
versus your Packers right now. Yeah.
I'm an Eagles fan, but we play Monday. But dude,
Bro, I gotta. They've
we'll talk about that later.
They've been kind of
iffy, right?
Yeah.
But dude, and this is why I feel like I love this player so much, and I don't really talk about it, but dude, I'm a huge fan of Baker Mayfield.
You know what, bro? I am too.
Dude,
As much as people hate
Yeah.
him, I like the kid.
I fucking love that.
I love his
guy, bro.
attitude.
His attitude.
Yeah.
He's a little more fiery, I would say, a little more vocal. But dude, that guy's story, if you guys haven't looked at Baker Mayfield's story, oh dude.
Yeah, look into that.
Look into that, bro.
His story is good too.
The guy had the fucking guts to walk out of, I think he was playing for Texas Tech at the time. And then he went to walk on
I think so.
at Oklahoma. He went to walk on. Like he
killed
put
it there,
his
though.
fucking,
Life on the line. Like his career.
cards on the
everything.
table.
Yeah.
Went to Oklahoma as a walk on, dude. And then he became a first round pick. And that goes back to the thing is like, dude, if you believe in yourself and you put all the bets against yourself and you're willing to take that risk, dude, you don't know what you can become. And I feel like that's what a lot of people
They lack.
we're afraid of, or we lack, is like we're afraid to take that risk. And as I've gotten older, I've come to find out is like, dude, we have to take those risks. Dude, I took the risk, working that full-time job, and I would go to work and then work my full-time job and then go work again. If I would have never tried, I would have probably still been at that job, and I wouldn't be sitting here with you talking about me being a coach / trainer for a year, full time. So I think there's a lot of, and it goes back to what you talked about, is like, what kind of sacrifice? I feel like we sacrifice every day. But it goes back to, what kind of sacrifices do you want to make sure that you can get to where you want to be?
The crazy part, bro, is that it's just, you have to have that fire, to be honest. Because like you said it, you're an underdog, you have that chip on your shoulder, and it's just like, a lot of people out there are just scared to fail.
Dude, I am still to this day. To this day.
This is a perfect example of like, starting something with someone, they leave, another person comes in, not going probably what we both wanted, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, well, they're doing their own personal thing on the side. They're like, when they come back, it's like, I could have stopped.
Yeah.
And just said, all right, well, let's see when everybody gets their shit together, or they're ready to come back, or whatever. It's like, I'm not going to do that. And you have to do that with everything. You have to look at it, be like, okay, they're on hold. Cool. If they want to come back, let's go for it. Like, you constantly have to grow as an individual. And a lot of people, that comes with failure, to be honest.
Yeah.
Beginning, didn't have this nice little setup. We didn't have the audio working properly.
Look at this now.
And
I'm
it's
on
like,
camera. I got a fucking microphone.
Bro, you can move this shit.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But it's progression. And another thing that goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning is that a lot of people as well are, scared to show progression, like even in themselves, which is something that I want to talk to you before we head out of here, a little bit of what I want to get into. But a lot of people also have to understand, it's like, if you cannot hold yourself accountable, figure out a way for yourself to be accountable. For example, if you want to do it on your own, right, but you're like, you kind of put it to the side or whatever. Most people what I found out is, for me, right, if I put it online, it's like, fuck, I already put it out there, I have to do it.
You have to do it.
That's how I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Some people might think that's like a sad way of doing it, or whatever the case may be. But for some reason, that's like a little extra motivator for me. Like, all right, I already posted it up. Now I got to do it, because people are going to ask me about it. So I got to do it. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those, it's just, it sucks, bro, that I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is that people, is it the judgment? Do you think that's what it is for a lot of people that just about the
dude,
failure?
I feel like it is.
Because you see it more than I do, to be honest. You see people come, go. You see people come and go, succeed, fail, whatever the case may be.
I've had plenty of clients, come and go. It's a part of the business, and I've realized that. I don't have a paycheck. Mm-hmm. I am my paycheck. Like, I gotta go out there and try to change someone's life, or like, inspire them to actually go for that thing that they've always wanted to do. But it goes back to the fact that, I feel like people like they don't want to put that post up there because they feel like it's not what's qualified or worthy enough, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I've done that myself for sure. Like, it's normal, but that's just the world that we live in. Social media is a really big thing now. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, I think everything's about timing. Is like, I don't think I'd be a trainer right now or a coach if it wasn't for social media.
Right.
Because that's how I market myself. It's free marketing. So I'm thankful for that. But to be honest with you, I could care less about social media and like that aspect. But I know that I'm doing things how I want to do it. And
it comes with the territory.
Yeah, it comes with the territory for sure. To be able to put out content.
Hey, that's hard though, huh?
Yeah, it's hard.
Content is hard.
Dude, I did a video today, and that shit took me like 3 hours because I was trying to like edit and like, dude, it took like a minute.
That, but I was like, dude, that's another thing though, which obviously we're gonna get into, I'm sure. But it's like people are not willing to learn either. Like they see it as like, bro, you know how I could not figure out a way to make my audio go to the camera and figure out to come out of here the machine and just mix together.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is my lips off from the? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, dude.
So instead of being like, all right, I quit, whatever, I don't want to do this anymore, it's a headache. I kept looking and putting in that time, but a lot of people look at it as like, oh, fuck, it's an hour video. I don't want to sit here and watch an hour, but they're watching an hour of their show. You get what I'm saying? Like they're lacking
Dude, you watch an hour of your show, but you can't work out for an hour. There you go.
It. You know, what I mean? It's like I'll tell you right now, bro. Like, I'm guilty of what's it called? shit, I got stuff to, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it. Everyone I'm
sure.
sure is at some point. But yeah, bro, I'm still trying to figure out like what it is the key motivator for those individuals, or even if you like give them that support system of what they need, they still find a way to just.
Dude, I'm actually dealing with that right now. Like, I've been struggling with time to work out for myself too. But dude, the only way that I'd be able to do is like I gotta be in the gym working out myself like at 3 a.m. But my days don't end till like 10, 11.
So how do you do
So
it?
it's like, what the
So
dude,
what
I'm
is it?
still,
What are
yeah,
you
and
doing
I'm like,
to,
dude,
you know?
I was like, do I really want to wake up at 3 a.m. To work out and then finish at 4 and then go train my client at 5? No, I don't. But it's going to come down to that I'm probably going to have to now to get into the routine because I am getting busier.
Which is good.
Yeah,
Congratulations, bro.
yeah, thank you.
Especially when you're self-employed.
Yeah, so I'm getting busier. Slots are filling up. I do have slots open, by the way. So if you're interested, hit me up. My Instagram is jakessf_, or you can look me up.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
I'll put it on the screen as well, just so you can do it, and then I'll also be in the description too. So,
but more or less, yeah, bro. I gotta find the time myself. Like, I'm not perfect. And I feel like that's kind of the persona I've kind of built up. Is that everyone thinks like, oh, Jake's always on his shit. I'm like, dude, I'm not a machine. Like, I'm a human just like you. Like, I have my funks, which I have a funk right now. So I'm trying to figure that out.
so you're not giving into it. That's a good thing.
Yeah. So, but the one thing I will tell you is, I don't let it stop me because I still focus on my diet. So my diet's always number one. If I had to say one thing, everyone who's working out vigorously, I'm in the gym for like 2 or 3 hours. You're not gonna see much progress if you don't fix your eating. We had a conversation about this. You know this. And that's just what it comes down to. If you eat healthy, what you put in your body, vitamins, minerals, good food, no artificial stuff, a lot of snacks these days.
I'm
dude.
guilty of snacks,
yeah,
bro.
Dude, I love snacks, but
as a driver, bro, they're everywhere.
You need, and that's another thing too. Is like everyone has different situations, and I get that.
Yeah.
For you, dude, I've talked to so many drivers. They snack because they want to stay awake.
Yep.
It's not because of the fact that you want to eat.
It's not because we want to eat.
Yeah,
It's just because we're like, bro, we kind of need
it's
to
like
figure
you need
something
to do
out.
something to stay awake, and that comes down to is like, well, then what do I do? And that, and like, I want to point out that not everybody's situation is the same.
Right. Bro, and
But,
put like
yeah.
this, night shift, right?
Yeah.
Hardly ever anything healthy open.
Never.
And then
well, you got Jack in the Box, where you
Jack
pull
in
up,
the Box,
get a what, fucking
In-N-Out.
croissant.
Well, I'll tell you this, In-N-Out has a better option, but
Yeah.
either way, it's like it makes it difficult everywhere you go. When you go to the ports, of vending machines everywhere.
But you can't make it. I mean, not
I'm making
to shit,
it. No,
yeah,
I'm making an excuse.
I don't want
but-
to shit on Jack in the Box
No.
because there's a healthy option.
Yeah, yeah.
that
But what I'm saying is like it's just. Of course, I can be better at that myself. Not saying that I can't, but
Yeah.
there are those moments right now where I'm even considering. I'm like, all right, bro. Like from New York, when I went to New York, I was like 184, 182, something.
Okay.
I lost a lot of weight compared
Okay.
to the 220 where I was when I first. Yeah,
remember.
I lost a lot of weight
Yeah.
with doing your stuff. And then I went to New York. Hopped on the bad habits, of course. Did a lot of walking though. I did like 30,000 steps in like one day.
No, yeah.
So it's
I
a
was
lot of
talking to
walking.
Johnny. You guys were walking like crazy.
My
Yeah.
fucking feet hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're walking a lot, but obviously when I came back, I was still doing everything that I'm doing. I'm constantly working now, like 6 days a week.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm exhausted. I get up and I just want to eat. I don't want to do anything. Like I'm just like, dude, I still have to edit. I do all this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, all right. I told myself, I was like, all right, bro. Right now, this is your excuse. But I was like, let's just do this. Let's just in February, it's a clean start. That's it. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm like, February is a clean start for me. Yes, it is a shorter month. I figured it'd be a good month to start because it's a little bit shorter, and I kind of figure myself out.
I have to applaud you for that because I love that because it goes back to that same mentality. Like, oh, I'll start tomorrow. I didn't start today. Oh, let me start tomorrow again. I'll start next week. I'll start on Monday. And you keep telling yourself that, and then
guilty
you
of
don't do it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, and I always want to point this out, is like, I don't want you guys to think like, fitness, that's all I'm about. Is like, it doesn't have to be about fitness. It can be like about like a certain research project you're trying to do, or like maybe like if you're writing a book or something, is like give yourself that time. Is like, I'll start the book tomorrow. I'll give that 15 minutes or I'll give it 30 minutes. Next week, I'll give it an hour. You know, just like slowly progressing. Is like everyone wants to do things cold turkey, and that's not how you do it. And it's like that's where like I'm gonna go on a diet. What's the first, bro? This is a misconception. What's the first thing you think when you're like I'm gonna go on a diet? What are you gonna start eating?
Most people would say a salad.
Exactly.
Right? That's
Fuck
I'm gonna
no.
go. Yeah, I would
don't-
go with the basic. Yeah.
The basic thing, a salad. I don't. you can ask any of my clients if I ever have them eat a fucking salad. I don't.
Not even,
You know
not
that.
even the itinerary.
Not
bro. It's
even- not even in the
on the
itinerary.
list, nothing.
I don't ever
I
have to say
literally
like,
was like,
eat a salad.
where the fuck's the salad
Yeah,
at? Nothing.
bro.
Nothing.
It's like you eat good food. It's like you don't have to eat a fucking salad. It's just that's not how it has to be done. Is everyone thinks you do, but you don't.
Yeah.
But more or less, I mean, that's just what it comes down to, is like giving yourself that little bit of a time, or giving yourself a time frame. Just because I feel like it makes it a little more real. And by all means, that doesn't mean that you're still gonna do it. Is like it all comes down to you. It's like, hey, I said, like, let's say February, right? February 1st, like it's tomorrow. What changes? I mean, just the J changes, but like what has to change is you have to change.
My mentality has to change too, and literally putting the time and understanding, like, I need to really manage my time now. Because what I will tell you is this: this is full transparency. When I was doing the training that he gave me, the plans and everything, right? The meals, all that. The most difficult part for me, bro, was the fact that not the gym. The gym was easy for me. The gym I could go because we play sports. Like it's easy. It's all muscle memory. Like I get it. It's easy. The hardest part was not cooking, even though I'm not the best chef.
Me neither, bro.
The hardest part, bro, was the mismanaging or understanding of how much an avocado actually was gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I grabbed like 3 avocados for the week, thinking, oh, that's gonna be good. No, I finished like 1.5 avocados in one sitting. And I was like, holy fuck, okay, I messed that up. And that would be my, I guess you could say that added to the, oh fuck, I'm not getting this right. And I kind of said, you know what, I'm going to New York anyway. I'm just gonna whatever.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
and
That was my excuse.
It can be demoralizing for
Exactly,
sure.
because the first week, I'll be honest, bro. I would do maybe like the breakfast. I would skip out on the lunch. I would do the dinner. You know what I mean? Because I'm driving. I can't fucking.
No,
you know?
I get that.
So I figured, but I was like, all right. And little by little, my second week was probably my best week. I was very consistent. Felt really good. Did everything that I needed to do, but I was short on food. Because I didn't fucking, properly.
Right.
And then the next week I was like slacking off completely. I was like, you know what, bro? Like I'm going to New York. I'm going to vacation. Whatever. As long as I'm not eating crazy bad over here right now, it's fine. Like I still, till this day, find alternatives. Like I told you before we came, I was like, you know what, bro? Like I would eat Pollo Loco.
Yeah.
That's
a great alternative.
Before I would get like Tams. You know what I'm saying? Like a burger. But now I'll be like, all right, look, I'll go to Pollo Loco. What is the burrito? Okay, burritos. Yes, it has a tortilla. It has rice. It has beans. But it has chicken. I was like, all right, cool. It's not the worst thing. It's not the best.
No, it's not the worst. It's not the best. But it's not the
in
worst.
my eyes, I'm like, all right, like I still need to control what I'm eating. Less burgers, hella for sure.
Yeah.
I've been eating
Can't
less
do that,
burgers.
man. You can make your own.
Yeah, I've been eating less.
Yeah.
So that's an accomplishment for me, because being on the road and constantly eating all stuff. But the one thing I have an addiction to, Jake, and I have an addiction, bro, is Coke.
Bro, Diet Coke.
Fucking soda.
Bro, Diet Coke, bro. I drink Diet Coke all the time.
Something about regular Coke.
Oh, no,
bro.
I know,
Something
bro.
about regular Coke. It just hit different, Jake.
Dude, but I want to point out a really quick fact that you said. You said that second week that you were super consistent, you hit a key point, is that you felt good.
Yes, I did. I felt fucking amazing. I know I wasn't snoring.
Yeah.
Got great compliments, wasn't snoring. I know I felt like better about myself. I had more energy and I just felt good. Like it just really did feel good.
And that's the thing, bro, is that was only 7 days.
Yeah. Imagine that. Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part.
I feel like that's the problem, is that we give ourselves this huge time frame. It's like, bro, just give yourself day by day.
That's it.
And I always preach this, is meal by meal, day by day. And I will tell you, that's what got me through prep. Day by day, meal by meal, lift by lift. And then it was just like a revolving circle. The next day I wake up, I'm like, okay, it's another day. Meal by meal, day by day. That's what I had to do. And it's like I couldn't really play around with it too much. And if I did, I had to ask for permission. Or like, hey, coach, what can I do? And then even then, I mean, these guys are busy too. So like, if there's a plan, I mean, there's so many other people who have they have to be attentive to too. So that's all they ask. Is like,
takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. Is like,
not easy.
Do what they ask. Do what I know that I could do. Do what's expected of me, and that's the plan. And just execute it. and that's pretty much it, to be honest.
You know what, bro? I know obviously we're running out of time
Yeah.
here. Obviously, I try to keep everything down to like an hour
Yeah,
minimum,
yeah.
you know, because I understand the attention span of people.
For sure,
and I
for
also
sure.
understand
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of shit
I
going
get
on.
it, man.
You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? But I wanted to say thank you for coming on again, bro. Truly, hopefully this was a better experience than the first one,
Yeah,
because I know the first one was
definitely
kind of
good.
sketch.
The first one was good, man. If you
Is-
guys haven't seen my first episode, please
Listen to it, yes.
please listen to it.
Yeah.
It goes a little bit deeper into who I am, like as a person. This one was a little more freelance,
little
I
more
would
free,
say.
yeah.
But definitely hit on some key points. And you know, if I had to give you like a message to end this podcast, I would say is to always believe in yourself. Take those risks. No one's gonna take those risks for you, and you come to find out that you might actually become the person you were destined to be rather than the person you are right now.
Those are deep. I fuck with that.
All right, man.
I fuck with that. All right. Well, with that being said, I can't even finish it even better than that. So with that being said, guys, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because it'll let you guys know every time we upload. And Jake, before we leave, I just want to make sure that this is said. Like I said, in February, I'm going to start.
Yeah.
I already have the meals. I'm going to continue with those because I actually enjoy those meals. And I'm going to progress and I'm going to keep you updated.
Yeah,
and I
for
promise
sure.
you, I'm going to do it for 3 months.
Okay.
So in 3 months,
Hey, this is video evidence
it's video
now,
evidence.
right?
So in 3 months, I'm gonna have you come back, and then we'll see. You can tell me if I made good progression or not, because I'm gonna be excited.
Hey man, I like I said, like see those updates.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys are interested in coaching or any free advice about fitness, supplements, I have all that in my arsenal for sure to give out. So if you guys have any questions in regards to anything, if you need a little extra motivation, I mean, I definitely like to put a little, you know, I have a pretty good wordplay. So I say, if you guys need extra motivation, I could definitely try to help you out for sure.
Right on. His Instagram will be in the description. Link will be all up in there. And again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. And
Thank
catch
you
guys
guys.
on the next one.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
Bye-bye.